what's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Giveaway Show. I'm Carlos Collects Comics. I'm your host, and I'm excited that each and every one of you is here for this very special episode. We're going to get started in just a second, but I want to do a quick shout out to our channel sponsor, Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys. Check this out. What's up, everybody? It's Carlos Collects Comics here, and I want to take a second to tell you about a sponsor of this video, Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys. And if you're looking for your next favorite comic shop, this is the spot. Tons of back issues, all the key books you could be looking for, a friendly and helpful staff, and 3 locations across the greater Houston area region: Lake Jackson, NASA, and Galveston. So make sure and check out Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys. All right, well, hey, big shout out to them as well. Just thanking them for the continued support of the channel. You are watching the giveaway show. We've got some great giveaways tonight, and we're going to be talking about the impact of 9/11 on comic books, the comic book industry, and the world as a whole, and as well as giving some of our personal recollections. So stay tuned. All right, hey, so we're back. We're here, and I'm excited to welcome aboard our panel for tonight. It's going to be JT Comics and Paul going to be hanging out with me. Let me bring JT out to say hello to everybody real quick.
What's going on, everybody? Ooh. JT Comic Books, man, representing Comic Book Fiend Club.
Oh, nice. Is that a sticker?
Yeah, we got.
I like that. Oh.
The club you can't get into.
You can get into the club. Just Paul can.
Nice. Well, man, it's good to have you hanging out with us tonight, JT. Let me go ahead and send it over to Paul because he's going to keep talking while you're on screen. Right. So, Paul, say hi to everybody.
Man, thank y'all for showing up to this great 9/11 edition of the giveaway show. We got a great guy coming on. But yeah, I got Carlos on here and JT. So me and Billy got our job cut off for us tonight on explaining or whatever that goes on. But we're here, guys, for you guys. So hit the thumbs up. And yeah, we're ready to get started tonight.
Awesome.
Great show tonight, guys. So thank y'all for tuning in.
Hey, everybody, we're glad that you're here. Make sure and drop us a quick like on the video, and make sure and say hi in the chat so I can give you a shout out in just a second. We've got we're going to get into some personal recollections about 9/11. What is that?
Oh, what is that?
Paul, what did you do, man?
Oh man, what is going on? Somebody's doorbell.
Hang on a second. Let's see who's at the door here. Hang on.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, David?
How y'all doing?
We're doing all right, man.
Great.
Sorry, I wouldn't answer the door quick enough, so I had to ring twice.
Right.
You didn't answer.
Well, you know, some gags work, some don't. All right, man. Hey, David, man, I'm excited that you got a chance to stop by. Hey, for those who are watching right now, we're real excited to welcome David Sanchez, storied cover artist, variant cover artist. You've seen his work on all kinds of titles. My first exposure to him was Something is Killing the Children. He did a stunning rendition of Erica Slaughter, and I'd never seen anything like it. And then I've seen his work. I've seen you do a rendition of Tupac for another title, and then man, it's gone on from there. So hey, we're excited to have him with us. So David, hey, thanks so much for being here, man, for stopping by.
Thank you guys for having me on. I've heard a lot of great things, and just grateful to be here. I'm excited.
Awesome, man. So what, David? What are you working on right now? What do you have going on?
So right now, we're gearing up for New York Comic Con. New York Comic Con is next month in October, and right now I'm in the process of. I'll be releasing 7 new exclusives for that show alone. The first time I've ever been to this show. It's going to be I've been trying to get into this show for the past 3-4 years,
Wow.
basically since I started, and it's never worked out. But I, with the blessing of God, I was able to have the opportunity to be a part of it this year with a great group of people, and those people that I'll mention here soon are allowed me to actually produce for you guys 7 new exclusives that'll be releasing leading up to the show, and very limited quantities of these products. I mean, they're going to be this is some of the hardest detailed work I've done in a while, and I just hope you guys enjoy it, and can't wait to share everything.
Man, wow. Okay, so wait. So I just want to get that. So 7 unique and different exclusives for this one convention.
Yeah, that's the first time I've done anything like that. I usually am able to squeak by with one per show. With the way I draw right now, and I'm slowly progressing as I get further in my career. Again, I've only been doing this for about 4 years. Prior to that, I was working in construction, and I was also working in the dealership aspect of it. So I really didn't have to worry about deadlines and stuff like that. So as time went on and as time progresses, I've gotten a little quicker. I've been, obviously I've had some run-ins with deadlines in the past, but I've been able to actually be a lot more cognizant and a lot more appreciative of that. And so I'm happy to say that this next series of weeks that are coming as we get closer to New York, you guys will see why I've been so quiet and haven't posted much lately. So.
Wow. Okay.
So how was it meeting Paul Comics at Dallas Fan Expo?
Oh God, here we go.
It was great. I mean, that show was by far the quickest show I've ever been to, but it made it left such an impact on me and such an impression. I mean, I was lucky enough to be there with CBCS. I mean, that alone is a blessing in itself. But I was also able to see a lot of friends, catch up with some familiar faces, Paul being one of them, and then just be able to show that, the time I put into all these pieces and the process and everything, it made me feel good that my time away from my family to draw for you guys wasn't in vain. So it's again, I'm grateful to everyone that stopped by that day, and I'm even more grateful that I was able to actually get to have a successful day. For just one day, it made up for not being there for the whole weekend. So it was a great weekend altogether.
You were like, that was it, right?
Dude, that's awesome. So
meeting everybody was awesome.
So as I'm looking at your Facebook page, I see a Mandalorian, a Din Djarin variant sketch cover. Is that one of the New York ones?
That was one of the New York ones from last year. I've done over the course of the past couple of years, I've had the opportunity to draw for New York Comic Con, but I've not been able to make it there in person. Gotcha. And that's usually, and it never fails, as we get close to the holidays, a lot of things come up, and of course my family's everything to me, so I usually will try my hardest to be there, but if I can't be there, at least my artwork can be there in some way, shape, or form. So
that's awesome, man. That's awesome. So I've got a graphic here. I'm gonna pull up. I think this is your 24 schedule. I think here I'm gonna drop this up here and see if this is it, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do you want to? Okay. So you've got. So you just did Las Vegas Comic Con. You've got New York, obviously. Man, that is so close. And then right after that, you have State Con, and then Rhode Island Comic Con, right?
I don't know if you can call my manager, but he did not schedule me appropriately. I'll tell you that much. I mean, I don't have a manager. I did that to myself on accident. So I had some fun gearing up towards the end of the year, that when these opportunities came, I just said yes to as many as I could. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to draw for everybody. And to those that do see this and that did reach out and offer me opportunities for New York Comic Con, please forgive me. I wish I could have drawn for you. I can only do so much in the time that I had. But I'm super honored and grateful that you guys reached out. It's just unfortunately, most of the stuff that I was reached out to about was already something I had agreed to, and I didn't feel right taking on the same project for two different stores. So.
Oh man, yeah, I totally. I think people understand. I'm gonna flash a couple of images, and again, these are just a couple that I pulled from I think from Facebook. I didn't go to Instagram for them, but I was just going to see if you wanted to tell us just a little bit about each of these. I know your time with us is short tonight, so but I was just going to see if you wanted to share about these. So this one's pretty fun.
That's a nice cover.
Yeah, that was one project that I had been reached out to from my friends and family at Capnam, which is Capture Collectibles and No Mas Comics. They presented me with this opportunity to draw 50 Cent for a project that had not been released yet at the time. And I personally honestly, I was against it at first because I wanted to focus on something else that was not portrait based, but I just felt like it was a great opportunity, something that I could really show my grit and my ability, that I can draw textures, I can draw skin, I can draw, just basically capitalize on my current style. And thankfully it worked out. It was an opportunity they gave me. I was able to go visit with them at C2E2, and I didn't even get there within 40 minutes of me being there, probably 30 minutes, that book was almost sold out. And I didn't even get to pull out my stuff out of my suitcase that I normally would bring out to the show. I was already like, here's like 30 remarks you got to do. Here's all this. Here's signatures. Here's all this. And I'm like,
that's you arriving to the table. You already have that.
Yeah. Which I'm hoping and praying that that's the same case for New York, because I had a blast doing that for everybody in Chicago. So this book was definitely one that brought me a lot more exposure than I'm used to. But it was definitely fun to actually see that my style and everything was sought after. So it was definitely a great project.
Yeah,
one that I would do again.
This one, I like it.
That's fantastic, man. And hey, for those who are seeing this and like it, he's done other pop culture figures. I guess, other rap artists, all kinds of other folks. I'm just showing a couple of them, so I need to make sure and check him out on. See, David, what's your preferred social media platform? Is it Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram is the best one for me. That's usually, that's usually how everybody gets a hold of me, is through there. Facebook is fine, but I generally use Facebook just to keep up with friends and family and stuff. And
Right.
I'll post stuff here and there, but honestly, I'm not really a big social media guy. I really need to be, but I'm working on that as time gets going. But I have a great team.
Like other artists and like go live and draw.
I used to.
Moko does it, and a couple of them do that, but
I used to, but I was so slow at drawing that people would just be bored to tears watching me draw the same cheek or like eyeball or weapon or whatever I was working on at the time.
Oh, I got you.
Well, y'all make sure and check him out. He's D Sanchez Artist on Instagram. I'm going to show two more quick pictures. This one, tell me about I didn't recognize this character, but this is stunning right here.
I'm glad you picked that one. That was this was something that I felt like it was my opportunity, because to actually do something a little bit different out of the norm from what I'm used to doing. And my very close friend, Mike Henson, he is the proud owner of Comic Shield as well as Verified Grade. he also is the writer creator of the Disputed Territory, and he's actually the person that I drew my second cover ever in my career. He was actually the person I drew it for, and he had this concept in mind that I thought was very interesting. Obviously, it's very iconic when you look at who she is portraying in that sense. But he had this idea for a character named Mortimer, and every concept that I was given from them, it really just kind of didn't sit with me in a way that I showed interest in it. When I came up with this idea of drawing a female version of the character, I was like, well, I have the perfect person to work with. And, just like with the Something's Killing the Children that you saw, I work with cosplay artists, and I work with models in reference to all my projects that require the help of that, character. And so I was able to work with Georgia on this one. She is a brilliant model and artist in the UK, and she's one of the nicest people I've ever come across. I've worked with some nice people. Katie, obviously, who's Erica Slaughter from Something's Killing Children. But I gave her the idea of what we were doing, and she immediately took it and ran with it. And this is what we developed together. And with the help of Sean Lee, who is a good friend and one of the cooler colors I've worked with, we were able to put something together that we thought would catch some eyes, and it did. It really did. I was really grateful that the turnout at Dallas and at Vegas, that everybody's really receptive to this.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is a stunning piece right here. And I know Tape Prime asks, what medium are examples of the pieces we're seeing, and what's your preferred medium? I will drop in, though. David does something really cool. At least I've seen it done on some of your posts, like on Facebook. He lists details about the different pieces of artwork, like what he used, what mediums he used, and things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. But if there's anything you want to share with us about the medium for this one.
Well, for this one, it was primarily done. All my pieces are primarily done in charcoal and graphite. My preferred brand is General Pencil Company for all my charcoals. I use mechanical pencils, actually pencils that are used for blueprints and schematics and stuff like that. So graphing. I use mechanicals for all my fine details and things of that nature. And then I use for highlights and stuff like that, I'll use markers or Poscas or something interesting, like the Ghost Rider that was mentioned earlier. That was drawn primarily in pastel and in Posca. So it's dry mediums are really the way I like to go. I'm wanting to focus on other things like airbrushing or oil painting, but luckily when you have a colorist that understands you and understands your style, you want to hold on to them because they generally make your artwork. They see what you can't physically put out on paper, and they translate everything that you're trying to convey in the best form possible. So the book that I believe you have, right, Paul?
Yes, sir.
That book is the pencil version of this one. So as you can tell,
a remark on this, Mr. Dave.
I got you. And so with that one, you can tell the differences in styles and technique and things of that nature. But my primary focus is usually charcoal graphite. That's usually what you'll see. I wish I was as good as coloring than as most. But when you have somebody like Sean in your corner helping you, it makes it very tough to want to use a different medium.
Yeah. Man, wow, that's fantastic work. Hey, I know you got to head out, but I just want to look at one more. This is, I'm a huge fan of this character here. So tell us that you had mentioned earlier that this is from last year. Or tell us a little bit about this one here.
Yeah, look at the detail on that.
So this one was actually one of the funner pieces and actually the most stressful pieces I've worked on. I usually, like I was mentioning earlier, I usually will do a series of sketches for New York Comic Con and try to have my work there in some way or form. So the Comic Mitten and I usually do something together, and we'll draw a series of sketches, as many as I can get done in time for the show. And this was one of those pieces from last year. So we did a series of characters: Rey, Mandalorian, Yoda, Thrawn. I mean, we did a lot, and we try to do it every year. But this year, I wanted to go a little bit bigger, and I saw the opportunity because these blanks are hard to find. They are expensive and they are hard to find. $30 usually, roughly, for a blank, which I'm used to paying like $5-6. So $30 is a lot for a blank. And when you find those blanks, you want to treat them with the utmost respect, and you want to do something different. So I tried to draw over the trade dress, which, if you are familiar with the blank, there's a card stock, and then when they use the trade dress, it's a lot smoother than the actual rest of the book. Right. So I actually physically had to paint over that area where his head is covering and give it still that look and feel as if I was drawing on regular paper. So
that is, I mean, the detail you have on there, that's nice.
Well,
I appreciate it. That was one of the most, I know the person that owns that piece right now, and I am tempted to accidentally take it home with me once I go over and hang out with him. So
I like the Ghost Rider one though. That by far is my favorite.
Yeah, the Ghost Rider is fun. I thought I had a lot more of those blanks, but I guess I don't. I'm out of those blanks, unfortunately. But I can try to find it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the detail on
I think you've definitely impressed some folks here. And man, hey, thanks again. Just from the very beginning, you've been, because I got a chance to meet you very briefly in passing at a card show.
He was like, and
Dallas
he was standing in line.
It was with Brad Benefield.
Oh, that was in Houston. It was a memorabilia show. It's Great Southwest or something like that.
Yeah, that's where you remembered me. That's what you said.
I was just super impressed with your humility, your approachability, and just, it's so cool to see mega talented artists who are just, super, super cool. And
I'm just a regular person, man, that likes to draw. So even if you come to the booth, if you're ever at a show where I'm at, I don't expect anything. Conversation is enough for me. So
I gotta ask you, so Yahweh, me, and Who Dat, a lot of these guys know. So we went over to your booth. They had that book. They're like, hey, this guy drew this book. You need to get this. This is selling out quick. And I'm like, okay, guys, I don't know what it is. So we go over there, and they're actually getting their stuff, getting in line, getting ready to get their stuff signed. He stops and says, I know you, and just points at me. And I'm looking back at the line, and I'm like, me? And he's like, yes, I know who you are. I was just so. No,
it was, like I said earlier when we were in the green room, I'm very much familiar with faces. Like I'll remember you guys even more now, but it's like names and stuff like that, they are hard for me. I just it's always
so for everybody watching, I just shared David's Instagram in the chat, so make sure that you go give him a follow. There's a lot more details about this, a lot more projects he's done. He's got a bunch of covers coming down the pipe, a big announcement on some stuff he's working on coming down the pipe. So we make sure and keep up with his work. His star is absolutely on the rise, and we're so grateful that he was able to stop by for a few minutes and hang out with us. David, thank you so much, sir. All right, you have a good rest of the night, okay?
Take care, guys.
It means a lot, man. They came through. Appreciate it so much.
Anytime, brother.
You're welcome back anytime.
I'm gonna try, man. Like I said, I promise I wasn't. I apologize sincerely. I wasn't able to come those couple weeks, but
you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
We're excited to come tonight and hang out for a few minutes. All right, take care, David.
Take care.
We'll see you. See ya. All right. So hey, For all those watching right now, that's right. Yep, it's a little bit different. One of the cool things that we're doing in season 6, as we continue the show, is these little, people stopping by to say hi. You'll recognize more and more of them as they go. And for some of them, like David, I hope that you get a chance to see their work and say, man, we've been watching David for a couple of years now, and just seeing him as he just continues to do better and better work. And each piece is literally more jaw-dropping than the next, or than the last. So y'all make sure and follow him on Instagram. He's also on Facebook. But yeah, he's had a ton of shows, a ton of comic conventions, and he's broadened out now. So he's going, I think, coast to coast. And big shout out, I got to give it to him. All right, big shout out to Paul for reaching out to David and getting him to go ahead and come by and hang out with us.
So guys, like he was saying, that I made his content. That's what I do, JT and Carlos. Every time I go to like cons and stuff, I make people's days. David recognized me.
All right, okay. And I thought you were being sincere, but I should have known. I should have absolutely known. All right, hey, right? Exactly. There we
Watch
go.
It, Pop Mafia. Watch it.
Right. Who?
Hey, y'all heard what he said, guys. He said he met me.
We are a little bit behind for our first giveaway of the night. I'm going to go ahead and drop that in here. Make sure and hit that like button and help let friends know. Hey, if you like getting to hear from David and see his artwork featured here, make sure and share this episode, the first part of this episode, with him, with them, and tell them, hey, go check him out, because he's got some really cool stuff out there. I'm going to go ahead and drop our first giveaway of the night that we are doing. Let's see. And there we go. So it's going to be hashtag remember 9/11.
It's hard to forget the face of your stalker.
What? Hard to forget Yes. Yeah, no. Paul doesn't stalk these comic creators. And that restraining order for that one artist, that was a misunderstanding. So Paul's completely innocent.
No, I mean, like Carlos was saying, he was an approachable person at the card show. He was. I mean, I talked to him for a long time and asked him questions about the Something's Killing the Children, because it was a beautiful cover. And like I said, he recognized me at Dallas, and then I had to. Him and if you go on the Instagram and look under Comic Hunters in the Wild, episode 2 of that little Reels series on my Instagram, features Paul and David posing for a picture with one of the variant covers that David did. And yeah, he's got such a unique style, and it's so detailed that it really pops and stands out. All right, so y'all go ahead and do that. We're gonna give it a minute or two to do that. I want to do a couple of quick shout out things. First off, if you're not a channel member yet, why not? Make sure and do that, because that's one of the ways where you get access to even more giveaways. Tonight, we're going to be giving away I've got a couple of cool giveaways here on my desk. But if you are a channel member, you can actually access the upgrade giveaway, which tonight, the first one on the list is a signed copy of X-Men 92, House of XCII. Number 1, it's a variant by David Nakayama, signed by David Nakayama. That's the first one that you can access. You can choose it. You don't have to take it, but you can choose it. Also, next Friday, a week from this Friday, we're having our second Carlos and Friends members-only live stream. It was fantastic. We had a lot of fun in it. The people that were in it were very excited about it and felt like it was a great time. In addition, we gave away, Las Cruces won this exclusive variant cover for 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank, number 1. This was number 1 on the on this cover price top 10, and on the Key Collector one. But not only this one, I gave away a second book to celebrate the first episode of Carlos and Friends, and that was this City of God variant for 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank, number 1.
All right, and this went to Gerald Yates.
Oh yeah,
So,
Yates to me. Thank you, Joe Yates.
So those were super cool giveaways that went to them. One of the hottest books on the planet right now. They got exclusive variants for those, just for being channel members and being in the chat for that. So make sure and consider. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I see a bunch of people's comments coming in. Okay, so here's the deal with Tate says YouTube won't accept my credit card for some reason. I don't know about that, but you can always message me. I'm sorry, but Carl's ads on the live needs to go. Hey, look, listen, man, let's get some channel memberships up so that we can roll back the ads. All right, because we got a lot going on here that we got to address and take care of. All right, Paul is expensive. That's all I'm gonna say. Whether or not he's worth it, that's debatable. But he is expensive.
I pulled through for you guys.
We pay it for business.
What's up, Guy Forge? Glad to see you, buddy. Thanks for popping in. It's exciting, man. Paul, how many different variants did you get?
I mean, I love these. These are the Patrick Gleasons, man. I gotta get them. They're Antimanium. And then your boy.
I haven't seen that. Those look pretty sick.
Boy, I had to get it.
I recognize that book.
No. I have one that Carlos is going to get sick when he sees it.
Not cheap.
They just tried to feed me a 45-second ad. Yeah. Don't worry. Hey, don't worry about the ads. They're quick and we're still trying to dial in the ads. All right, but producer Weapon X says to keep cranking them. All right, so y'all make sure and check that out. I don't know. Oh, the instruction manual for the Sega Genesis?
Sega Genesis. That's before y'all's time, guys.
That's the thing. Instruction manuals are a thing. Paul, did you get the 1 in 100?
No,
he did not. Even Paul has limits.
I didn't get it. No.
All right. Oh, yeah. Hey, real quick. That reminds me. Make sure and go check out this new. Let me get over there to it. All right, I want y'all to make sure and check out expensivepaper.co on Instagram. That is that is a sales Instagram only. It's a claim sales style of thing. All right, it's got you can see it now here. It's at expensivepaper.co. Got plenty of books for sale right now.
Always you ain't got no miles.
Right now we got this Ultimates 4 1 in 25 ratio variant that it's very clean, asking 35 plus shipping. But here's the thing: if you're a giveaway show winner, your shipping is free. So we've got this is a little. I have a second copy. One of them's already been claimed, but I have a second one. This is the most limited 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank variant right here. Each one on the front cover is it's got a little pressable defect there. Wait, no, where's the number? Okay, in the bottom left, this is number 61 of 105. Only 105 of them. These are marked. This one's marked at 25, and it does have a pressable small crease on the front cover. So lots of stuff, including all the 4 kids walk into a bank. There's video games. There's slabs. If you're looking for an Ultimate Fallout 4 CGC 9.8, got one of those up for sale. Everything, we can make deals. Everything is marked under eBay pricing. So make sure and go check it out if you're interested. If you're looking to buy a comic book and want to just be able to browse through instead of having a ticking clock pushing you to make a sale, to make a purchase. All right, so thanks for being here tonight. Let's see, Envision Comics. I'm not sure what you keep sharing. We're gonna go and delete that. All right, because I don't know what that is, what that link is. All right. Oh yeah, Paul, you gonna give this away?
No, I ain't giving this. This is the only one I have left. But yeah, from 9/11.
I have not. You know what? I don't know. I don't think I have mine left anymore.
So this was like, I guess what Marvel, all the comic creators got together, and I think you had to like when you bought it, it went to the families of the firefighters and of 9/11. But yeah, I still have this one.
That
I
is
have this one. They did.
Oh yeah, okay. You know what?
Marvel did it along with it.
I didn't realize it, but I still have this one. I don't have the Spider-Man, but I do have the Heroes one, the Heroes magazine. It is definitely beat up. It's definitely beat up because I didn't bag it and board it until less than a year ago, and I'd had it since 2001. So
I got that one. And
all right, so make sure. So make sure and here we go.
Oh,
wow!
What grade is that?
It has the old CGC.
That's a 9.6, which means today
really?
it's probably 9.8.
Oh, it's a 9. What is it? A 9.2?
9.6.
Oh, well,
Yeah, it's in the group chat, Paul. Look at that, 9.6. Which seriously, it's probably a 9.8 at this point.
oh yeah. It ain't like
Nice.
this one.
Beautiful.
It's not like this one.
It ain't like this one.
What?
Look at that.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
man!
So-
Dueling ASM 36.
So the story on this one, I had two of them.
Paul has got
Yeah,
all kinds of stuff in there.
But
That's
story on this one.
all kinds of stuff. What's up, Mr. Collector? Good to have you hanging out with us. Hey, y'all, make sure and hit that like button if you haven't already. We are doing a retrospective the impact of 9/11 on the comic industry, showing off some 9/11 books. But we're about to do a giveaway. This is, speaking of Spider-Man, I've got an amazing Spider-Man number 252 foil, courtesy of our sponsors at Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys. And we're going to be giving that away. But if you're a channel member, you can access the autographed book here that we've got up. All right, so let's go ahead and do that first giveaway, and then we're going to keep it moving along. Remember, it is hashtag remember 911 or 9/11. Hashtag remember 911. So make sure that you enter that into the chat. Wait, what is that, Paul? Show that real quick. Show that.
So Hot Wheels came out with like Track Fleet, and this is the. Thank you, Mike Bravo. Got me this.
Gosh, that is so sweet.
It's
Where
got
did
the
you
tractor.
get that?
You get them at
How old is that?
no, it just came out. It's not too old.
I need to look for one of those.
So you
Because
get-
that is sweet, man.
yeah, thanks to Mike
Oh,
Bravo,
wow.
he got me that.
That's cool, man. That's really nice. I like that a lot. All right, hey, let's go ahead and do this giveaway. Okay, looks like I got 22 entries. It is hashtag remember 911 or remember 9/11. Guy Forge says, I need that in my life, Paul.
Got you there, Guy Ford, my buddy.
All right, here we go, folks. We're going to go ahead and do this for this foil and then upgrade giveaway for channel members. Here we go in 3, 2, 1.
Good luck. Good luck, Carlo.
Good luck, everybody. Good luck to everybody.
Three
Three
good
good
nerds.
Wow, dude! This is like two weeks in a row that Three Good Nerds, I think, has won. He won. They won last week and took the upgrade giveaway, and plus because he's a channel, they're channel members, and so yeah, so this is pretty sweet. Whoa, what just happened there?
Oh, lost it.
I just went into my.
You
All right,
killed.
here we go.
You killed
There
the
we go.
live.
All right, so yeah, I need to figure that. All right, so hey, Three Good Nerds, congratulations! That is wild.
They said give it to Paul.
Yeah, I know. I'm stunned by it because usually things are fairly random. So Three Good Nerds, let me know. Do you want the foil or do you want the signed David Nakayama cover, which will reveal the second member? He needs to take the horseshoe out. All right, calm down. Calm down.
Upgrade.
All right, so he's going to
Great.
choose the upgrade, which is the X-Men 92 #1 variant by David Nakayama, signed by David Nakayama with a certificate of authenticity, and that's going to reveal the second channel member giveaway of the night. Predator #1 by In-hyuk Lee, signed by In-hyuk Lee.
Damn.
And silver Sharpie right there. All right, and then these do come with from expensivepaper.co a numbered certificate of authenticity. So congratulations, 3 good nerds on this pickup here. We're going to be doing the next giveaway.
You guys, to get the upgrade, you got to be a
yeah.
channel member.
For like another 15 minutes or so, we're going to be doing our second giveaway of the night. But I want to go ahead and get into
do the upgrade
9/11 thing and talk a little bit about that because it's a big day. We earlier tonight we had family dinner in front of the TV and we watched the George W. Bush 9/11 interview. It was done 10 years after the event. It's on. You can find it. It was done by National Geographic, so it's on Disney Plus. But it's also the whole thing's also on YouTube for free. I highly recommend watching it because it's interesting. Because
was he like in the classroom at the time? I think he was.
He was in Sarasota, Florida. President Bush was, and it was a reading exercise. They were because his. Yeah, that was the thing. His big agenda items for his presidency were all domestic issues. And then 9/11 happened and it changed him from a domestic issues presidency into a wartime president. And just completely changed things and was just just wild. And so it's interesting to hear it in his words. So that's like, there's plenty of amazing 9/11 pieces that have been done, but that one is now 13 years old. And I still feel like it holds up well. So we said our daughter, because it's wild to think our kids, my kids, all 3, even the 20-year-old, this happened before they were born. Mm. And I've been doing some guest teaching at some schools about media and stuff like that. And today I was just looking at them and I was thinking, man, these kids, this is an event out of a history book for them. It's something they've heard about. They've watched it on YouTube, but it's not like real. Right. Because I remember when I was because I was working on my undergrad. I was living on campus. I was about 24, 25, I think, when it happened, 24, and living on a college on the University of Houston campus. And I remember I was sleeping in that morning, and my phone started ringing, and it was my mother, and then it was the Baptist Student Ministry director who was saying, because I was the president, and he was saying, "Hey, man. Obviously, history has been, we're living in history right now. Everything is changed now. Call me back when you can." And it clicked. And, he always kind of had these random things that he would talk about. But I was like, man, that's bizarre for him to say that. And then my mother's answering machine, we had answering machines back then, where you would, explaining this to kids is crazy because they don't just even click with that. The answering machine came on again for my mother, and she's saying, "Is everything okay? Is the college locked down? What's going on? What are people saying? Are y'all still they're canceling classes? What's going on? Are you okay? What's happening?" Because in that moment that it's unfolding on television, it feels like you're living in a movie, in one of those blockbuster movies, end of the world movies, but it's real. Mm-hmm. And I remember calling her back and turning on the TV and seeing the images. And I said, "Hey, Mom, I got to go." And so I ran across campus to the office building, and and I remember we were going to pick up food for students there that day. And as we were driving, and this is University of Houston near Hobby Airport, the sky is completely clear and quiet. And I remember him saying that, man, in the history of the United States, we've never had a time like a modern history time when everything has been clear, like the skies have been completely clear. And then we saw a couple, and like in the far distance, 2 fighter jets go zooming by, and it was just wild. It was wild because it's not something that you ever, when history happens, you don't. A lot of times in the moment, you don't realize. And watching that interview, of George W. Bush talking through it. It's like, yeah, it's like you're in the middle of living history, and it's kind of mind blowing to be thinking about it, and it that had huge impacts on the comic book industry and comic books and the country. So, so I wanted to see you guys. What recollections do y'all have at that time, like on that day? Because it was a Tuesday, I think.
You're not going,
I don't
JT?
remember what day it actually was, but my story was kind of similar to yours, Carlos. I was a freshman in college, so I was at Indiana University at the time, um, and I was just looking at it. It says it happened around 7:14 that morning. So I was getting up. When you're a freshman, you have those 8 o'clock classes, so you already got to be up and ready.
Right.
I remember having the TV on. I wasn't watching the news or nothing. I know I don't watch news, but the TV cut whatever off show I was watching off, and went straight to the scene, and I just was like, man, what's going on? This can't be real. And that's what I remember thinking, like, this can't be real. Seeing those buildings being hit, and I happened to have a young lady, because our dorms are co-ed out there. Co-ed young lady, she's from New York. She was just devastated. Remember just hearing her crying, and trying to console her, like, man, everything's gonna be all right, because we don't have people out in New York that I knew. I did not know anybody there, so it didn't hit me as hard as it hit other people at that time. So that's what I remember, like, just consoling her, helping her, and yeah, it was just a sad time at that time.
Paul, how about you? He's coming back right now.
Yeah, I'm here. Oh, so if everybody knows me, they know I got out of the service in May 2001. So while I was in, when we were going to the Suez Canal or to the Gulf, it's like you're on a carrier and you're thinking, what would a country be so, or whoever would be so dumb to attack the United States? Never in my wildest dreams would I think that somebody would use a commercial airliner to hit a building. Never. I've never thought of that. And then watching like these guys, like learning that they were getting trained in Florida, I believe, to fly the plane. And nowadays it's like they would ask me when I would take flights what I was doing with what cargo or anything I was doing if I was wearing my uniform. But knowing now, everything drastically changed after 9/11. I mean, you can't even take anything onto a plane. Anything, TSA, all that was never like when my family dropped me to go back to San Diego. It's like they could stay at the terminal. Now it's like you got to drop them off. You can't even go past the metal detectors. They have to go and you stay. So a lot of stuff got changed. I was shocked when they used a commercial airliner to hit the buildings. And they sent me a letter from the Navy saying for my rate as an EM, I was on standby. I had to go to MEPS and get checked again, do the physicals and everything. But they never called me. So, yeah, I feel you, Dagger Cars. When I got out, a couple of my friends I was still in contact with called me and said, hey, man, like JT was saying, dude, they told me the United States is under attack. And I'm thinking, like, what country would be that dumb? But actually it was just Al-Qaeda guys or whatever they called them, terrorists that use planes. And I think one plane fell into the ground And yeah, it's, like I said, that really changed me. A lot of places I go to where I was like, me and my dad went to a car auction, and I had this jacket on. And after 9/11, everything was patriotic. It's like you patriotic and country getting together and uniting. And it was just tragic, but then it showed like what the country was capable of doing. I mean,
Right.
everybody was band together. I've never heard like, so I guess they disbanded the Patriot Act, but when they said about passing the Patriot Act, it got unanimous passing. I mean, people were like on board to go where these guys were. I mean, it was just a time in our country where I seen unification, but now it's like we're back to being divided again and all this stuff going on in our country. But yeah, that day changed me forever. I never thought in a million years they would use a commercial airliner as a weapon. It just never fathomed in my mind. I never thought of that.
Yeah, you know, it's wild how much the world has changed in a very short time, like just the past 20 years. And we look at just how, like, the events of last week and how much it's just, you know, how much things have changed, like things that would never have been conceivable or imaginable are now things that, you know, there's drills for.
What's
And
crazy also is watching, and you're helpless. You can't really do anything. You're seeing all this stuff going on, the burning. You're seeing people jump from the buildings, knowing what are they going to, either they're going to burn or they're just going to jump. So you see them jumping, and I just say to the firefighters and all the guys in New York going to the building and then it collapsing. It's just crazy sights when you see it. It's like it's there and then it's gone. Symbol, World Trade symbol is gone. But the heroic guys, like if you're in that task of what to go in there and go save people, but then the building's gone. It's like I watched that World Trade where Nicolas Cage where they were trapped, having all the stones and stuff in you. Yeah, it was a pretty tragic day.
It was.
And fortunately, the United States is what did pull together in a really remarkable way and keep moving forward. But it was definitely a day that I think it's important that especially the new generation that is not aware of it does. It was interesting um, how the comic community kind of rallied around it. If you have not read Amazing Spider-Man number 36, the guys were showing it their copies earlier. I didn't know that both of you had graded copies, old school graded copies. If you wish I kept mine. You want to show those again real quick for people?
Yeah, so on mine, I had two copies. Like I said, it really touched me. Like I said, I was a former Navy guy. I got out in May, and then that happened. I figured I was going to go back, but they never. I just was on standby. But when this came out, I grabbed two, and this is when they just barely started grading. So I wanted these two copies to go get graded. Kept the higher one, but yeah, like I said, this is my copy. I just immediately bought it, and when CGC, the comic shop, I just told them just send it in and get it graded for me. So that's sort of me on this. This has been my original copy. It's been with me this long, and like I said, the old label. I think I traded the other one, but yeah, this one's stayed with me and will always stay with me. Won't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon. Yeah, I like how they did the 9/11 thing for a little while. They did that for a while. But yeah. And John Romita Jr. at the show, I don't know if JT knows that, but he did a bunch of remarks and signed a bunch of these.
Yeah.
At the show, he was remarking and signing. And I think a guy had a bunch of the guys' signatures on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were getting this. I wanted to do it, but I was like, it just has a significance to me. So it's like, nah, I'll never crack it out or anything like that. It'll always stay with me.
Good.
Man, that's remarkable. Let me here, JT. I'm bringing it back. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my mouse. There we go. Okay, you're back up.
Yeah, my poor 9.6 compared to Paul's 9.8. But as y'all know, I was not collecting back then, so this was actually a Christmas gift to me.
Wow,
Well, that's cool.
I got this, yeah. But I'm a probably do the opposite of Paul. I'm gonna probably have a JR. Put a remark on here. I seen one that was cool. It had a Spider-Man on there, and it had in his eyes you could see both of the twin towers. I was like, man, that's dope. It's probably something that I'll try to get.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Oh, it had the twin towers in his eyes.
Yeah, so it's like
that's
big
cool.
Spider-Man. Yeah,
Oh.
and then I mean in his eyes were the twin towers.
Oh,
Yeah.
So in the top 10 Spider-Man comics to add to your collection video on this channel, number 36 is one of those because it's one of those, I think, classic issues that it made sense for it to be Spider-Man. That was the comic where there was a reaction. You know, the comic industry as a whole, it was. You know, there was key touch points overall in the landscape following 9/11 of the just kind of world reactions to it. One of the big ones I remember was David Letterman, his first show after 9/11. Because David Letterman is as New York as it gets. He was, I think, next to Johnny Carson, the greatest late night host of all time. Paul doesn't believe that because he thinks he's the greatest host of all time. But I think that right, exactly. But I think that Johnny Carson and David Letterman are right up there as the greatest, talk show hosts of all time. And so they, hearing David Letterman kind of process it in real time, live on the air, and speak to the audience from New York, being a New Yorker himself, was really impacting. And then the same thing for for it to be Spider-Man, who, Spider-Man is one of the most recognizable superheroes of all. He's right up there next to Superman in terms of being recognizable and timeless and popular. And so for it to be, and he's based in New York, Superman's in Metropolis, Batman's in Gotham, but Spider-Man is New York. And so, for it to be his comic book, and then a masterful writer like J. Michael Straczynski. I know he's had some kind of off work, but he was next level when he wrote this, and so it was amazing for them to do it, and for Marvel to do this all black cover.
J. Scott Campbell was doing the covers at the time. 30.
Yeah. J. Scott Campbell was doing the covers, but J. Michael Straczynski was doing the writer. And then John Romita Jr. was the interior art. Yeah. And so it was, it was an impacting issue because I remember picking it up, and it was if you haven't read it, I highly advise picking up a copy. It is part of a couple of different collected editions. I don't think they've made a facsimile of it, have they? Do you know? Do you guys know?
Said he was there. Wow.
Whoa. Oh, wow.
Who said it?
Tino in the chat said he was there. Wow.
Yeah, I remember that. And we're going to go into the chat in just a second here to hear your recollections because there's a lot of people sharing stuff in the chat. I remember that like it was yesterday. I was working that day in Midtown Manhattan. Everybody was in panic mode. They told everybody to go home. The buses and trains, no taxis. Everybody had to walk home. Wow. Dagger Card says, my brother can't watch any movies related to 9/11 or Afghanistan. His replacement was killed over there 2 weeks after he came home and was replaced by, Three Good Nurses, I still can't watch the movies or specials. Even after all these years, I get too emotional. It is very emotional.
Yeah.
It's very emotional. I think for us, one of the big things was I think history is important. I'm not like a history buff by any stretch of the imagination, But history is important because we can learn from it. We can learn so much from it when we study it. Not obsess over it, not live in the past, but study the past, from through the prism of time and, in present day and say, hey, what can we learn from this? How did this change our world? Because there's a lot of things we can trace back. This kind of idea of political intrigue at the level of distrust of government institutions, a lot of that stems from 9/11. A new style of war began with 9/11, but prior to that, every war that we had been involved in was a different, was on a battlefield far from here.
Right.
9/11 brought the battlefield next door, and it made it a very personal, very visceral thing for people in the United States because it could happen anywhere, and so that was a big part of it. Let's see, the Joffrey Castro says I was at preschool and they canceled school because of this.
You show how old
Some of you youngins. Yeah, I mean, this happened a while back. Yeah, I was in college working on my undergrad. Those buildings had their own zip code. Let's see, I'm going backwards. I'm going to jump up here to where, Three Good Nerds. Let's see. I think our parents and grandparents thought the same thing about Pearl Harbor. True. Our parents and grandparents were impacted. I mean, it was, as some have said, it was our Pearl Harbor. Our generation's Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Liz Barnes says, I have a collection of 9/11 info. I met the blind man that made it out. Incredible story. That is an incredible story. Dagger Card says, I just got out of the military and was going to university at the time when I woke up to that on TV that morning. Same thing. Same here, Dagger. Liz Barnes says, yep, it was a Tuesday. Flight 93 flew over our area right before it turned around. Wow.
That one that crashed. Wow.
Yeah, that was the one that crashed in the field in Pennsylvania. Dagger Card says, I got out in June of 2001. Joffrey Castro, I was a little kid at the age of 3, and we were out of country when this happened. Oh, wow.
I think this is what this one is. It's like a Marvel one of stories.
Oh.
Stories.
I don't recognize that one. What is...
Yeah, it's like... Then it says something about the mayor. I think it has like something.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like...
Oh, wow. That's really nice. Wait, okay, so that's a Marvel one, right?
Yeah.
Marvel
one. Joe Quesada did that. And like I said, for a while they did... These are all the guys that were in there. Mark Bagley, Brian Michael Bendis, John Romita Jr., Scott, Kevin Smith. I think they had like... I think they're like stories of what happened. And I said this one's pretty. They're just, I guess I like stories about what some of the guys saw and went through.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of these.
That's a really cool one. I've never seen that one before.
I've never seen it.
What parents or kids and wives are going through.
Is that a free book?
No, it was like...
I see a barcode. Or...
Yeah, it was right there.
Huh. I don't recognize that one.
Yeah, they announced it when they came out that they were going to do something like this. But yeah, to see how quiet it was. And then all of a sudden, it's just like... Oh, hell broke loose. I think it's like eyewitnesses of the firefighters and policemen that went in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
That's nice.
And then this one.
Wow.
And then this one. The superheroes with the firefighters.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty nice. That's really nice.
I think
I like that.
Looks like. No, it's now Lou Henderson.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one before.
This one's like a little thing about it with the flower and the hat.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is Ramita Jr. right here. They're all yelling at each other, and then supposedly they're yelling at each other before they leave. And I think then it happens.
There's no words in his story.
No, there's no words, no.
Okay. Good.
And then all that happened, and then the family reunites because they were yelling at each other earlier in the morning, and all that happened. They're like changes them forever, something like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool book.
Yeah, I'm looking on, for those who are interested, there are a bunch of them on eBay for very, very reasonable prices.
Yeah, it's not a crazy expensive book.
Well, there's one person that has a copy for $51 or best offer.
Wow.
9/11.
It's a CGC 9.6.
Oh shit.
But yeah, I don't know who would have put the copy of this up.
No, I don't have one graded.
I know. No, but there's a lot that are really, really affordable. I'm probably going to pick up a copy. Paul, I don't remember that one. I remember
they announced that one after that in the 36.
Yeah.
They announced that. I think that one came out later than. But yeah,
I can't. I can't afford the ASM 36 anymore because that book is a very expensive book now. And the wild thing about it is that book just continues to rise in price slowly but steadily. So those CGC 9.6 and 9.8s that you guys have those are several $100s now. Probably the 9.8 is probably $1,000 book, honestly.
So like I said, that was like I said, it really touched me. And like I said, when it came out, CGC barely started, and then I bought those books and sent them out to get graded. I was like, I had another copy, I think, just to read it, just to see what it was. But then both of them, I just sent them off. Didn't hold on to them.
I'm gonna pick up that Moment of Silence because I've never read that one, and I'd like to. See, I read this one in the 30 and 36, but
See, I like this because that went to the families of the firefighters and maybe but the comic book community actually banding together. I think there's even a McFarlane one in here. I think McFarlane came back to do a thing for them. Yeah.
So let's go ahead. Let me read a few more of these of the chat. Okay, that's such a beautiful
That's
piece of
McFarlane,
art.
and then they did that iconic
little
thing with it.
Yeah, I need one of those now.
They're pretty affordable. I see a bunch of them for $10 or less on eBay, including shipping.
But when you read them and stuff, it's like watching.
Dagger Card says, I actually tried to go back in after 9/11. I even tried joining the U.S. Army too. Joffrey Castro says, I was at preschool. They canceled school. Okay, we're caught up mainly here. All that week, I could smell the fire from my balcony. Wow.
Yeah, I've heard some.
Let's see. This link is for the untold story of the 9/11 boat lift, one of the most uplifting stories. Okay.
I think like some of them had to use the ferries to get there because there's no way to get to them.
Yeah.
They had like ferries and people getting them.
There's so many stories about that we haven't heard of or seen. I wanted to read a couple of things because we did talk about this being about the impact of 9/11 on comics. So a couple of things to keep in mind that the regular storylines of Captain America and Spider-Man were temporarily suspended and replaced with issues that discuss the superhero's inability to stop the attacks. Now, as much as I love the idea of Captain America addressing it, I still love that the comic that everybody knows as the 9/11 comic book was Spider-Man, because I just feel like Spider-Man is so, perfectly New York, and he's such a major character. It's neat to see that. Um, Comic book artists began to include political themes related to the war on terrorism, the abuse of power by government agencies, and the violation of civil rights. Yeah, that became a big thing in a post 9/11 world. With the signing of the Patriot Act into law, it it didn't take too long before people began to question government's overreach, even though it was a time of great of war and great fear and trying to protect the United States. There were still a lot of people that that felt like the overreach was getting dangerous.
Well, you made a good point. Like, so when it happened, everybody was yay and were for it, but then after a while, they're like, "Oh, the government has too much will to get our information," and then everybody started like, "No, we don't. We need to cut that back."
Yeah.
But you're right. At the time, everybody was like, "Yes."
Right.
Yeah. I mean, because we'd never been through something like that, and I think the United States as a whole was in a period of post-traumatic stress,
Right. They were,
post-traumatic syndrome. The country as a whole, because these images were being played repeatedly by news stations, cable news stations. It's a constant drilling down into your psyche of these events. And, it was impossible to escape them, especially for that first year. It was everywhere. It was in everything.
People were upset about it. People were mad, and
people felt powerless but wanted to act.
right.
People were, many people lost loved ones that day. Even celebrities like Pete Davidson, his father died in 9/11. And I think that's part of the, bless his heart. I mean, that's part of the reason I think why he continues to go back into rehab, is because that's traumatic.
Right.
That kind of trauma latches on, and it can sometimes take a lifetime to break loose of it. Wolverado says, one of my coworkers' brothers was at the Pentagon when it got hit, but was in a meeting opposite of where he is normally, so was fortunate to make it out okay.
There it is. I found my
Tape Prime says, oh, okay, now which one is that one? Is that your 36? Oh, nice. Okay.
It's just
And Paul, my birthday's coming up. Just letting you know. I'm teasing you, Paul. No, but it's Tape Prime says they basically evacuated NYC by every boat imaginable. The laws of the Patriot Act are still in place, not to get political. Yeah, I don't know.
So John Romita Jr. got a lot of flack for this, for doom crying, and he says that people, because I asked him about it when I sat next to him, and he would say, "Yeah, a bunch of people said that this panel should be taken out because how are you going to make Dr. Doom cry?" But he said at the time that he has like motives or something, and this was a cowardless act. But I asked him, and he said, "Yeah, he gets a bunch of flack for that all the time." Because he said that, and then I mean, this image with Captain America, I mean, not knowing what to do.
Mm. Yeah, that look in the on the left page, the bottom right, that one, the expression on Captain America's face is just heart-wrenching in that one.
Yeah, it's like, what can I do, And then this in the back is pretty cool. I like all the people.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
That is cool.
And the superheroes in the back, but everybody
The real heroes in the front.
Yep, the real heroes, and we put ours in the back. Yep. Well, and that's what it is. It's like you got to be a real hero to be running into that kind of stuff. And
Right.
while people are running away, you're running to it. It's like I commend those guys. True heroes.
So okay, so it does look like the story material for those who are interested. The lowest price I can find on eBay is $38 for a raw copy of number 36. But there is a Mighty Marvel must-have
Yep.
number 2 that was a reprint of it. So if you're looking for a reprint of it for a lower price, and just so y'all know, I used the hashtag, but we're not giving away a copy of ASM 36. So I used it as the hashtag, but I don't want anybody to think we're actually giving away a copy of it. I keep an eye out for it, but it's a hard book to find now. It really is.
This time of the around September 11th, that book always people.
Yeah. Well, the neat thing or the interesting thing, like I said earlier, that book continues to climb in value. Year over year, it actually climbs in value. And it's interesting to see that because it wasn't reprinted. There wasn't multiple printings of it. It was just that printing, and then that was it for years until they did that reprint. And
it was like what that issue, and then they went back. The next issue, they just went back to their story.
Right. Yeah, they did.
It just like for that month, they were like, "Halt, we're just gonna do this, and then go back to doing our stuff." Yeah, I'm surprised JT got one because he's a big 9/11 guy. I'm surprised he got one.
And I got one.
And an old label. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is wild that both of you had a copy that is, had copies that are the old CGC labels. That's kind of neat. That's kind of neat. All right, so we've got the hashtag in the comments for those who are.
Yeah, tell them Tate.
Who are wanting to. Let's see. Come on, Paul. Give away your raw copy.
Oh man, I can't Tate.
Do that,
this is near to my heart.
That's his reader. That's his reader copy.
Yeah.
Is it a sketch cover? No, it's a black cover. At the time, there weren't really any sketch covers. So, it's just a
I think they had it all black for like how does it?
It was a memorial thing.
Memorial, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, because I remember reading an article. I think it was in Wizard magazine. They were talking about the decision to just have an all black. Because they were thinking, what can you put on the cover to actually like encompass the event?
I think it was a good choice.
Cover art.
I don't think
cover art. Yeah, no, I think it was brilliant. It was the perfect decision to just all black and the Amazing Spider-Man masthead. And it's one of those ones where the newsstand is a huge amount more, but I don't like the newsstand because I just like the solid black.
Oh, with the barcode.
Even though the newsstand is way more expensive.
Yep.
Okay, another commercial. I also was not collecting then. I was married instead. Yeah, I know.
He said,
I feel fortunate every day that Mrs. Collects is happy to be Mrs. Collects and supportive of my hobby.
Oh no! Until she watches the giveaway show.
Yeah. Oh, God, here we go. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and do our giveaway. Let me share the screen. I only see 16 issues. I only see 16 entries. So make sure that you get yours in there. Hashtag ASM36. What we'll go ahead and do is what I had here is I've got Space Ghost number 2, the 1 in 10. Issue number 5 dropped today. So you want to be checking it out. Our friend of the channel, David Pepos, is super excited about it. They've had some amazing variants, including this 1 in 10 by Barron's. It's a Virgin incentive. It's a 1 in 10. So you're going to be able to choose this. The winner of the show, or I mean, the winner of this drawing can choose this one. You can choose this, or if you are a channel member, you can upgrade it to this autographed copy of Predator #1 with the variant by In-hyuk Lee, and it is signed by In-hyuk Lee at Fan Expo Dallas 2023 was when it was signed. So, all right, we'll go ahead. Let's see. Same here, Tate. Well, not technically married, just living in sin. Okay. All right. Liz Barnes says, I have every magazine for 2 weeks after 9/11. Time, Newsweek, etc. Time cover always uses a red border, and they used a black border that week. Wow. That is really, that's a really interesting and heartfelt collection to have. Do you mean David Sanchez didn't leave any signed or remarked books? Man, you know, that's me. That's Carlos's lack of preparedness on it. I couldn't get a hold of a copy because they're very exclusive. His covers are very exclusive, and so I was not able to get a copy. Can I just send you $4.99 if I win, Carlos? LOL. I don't know. What do you mean? No, man, because here's the deal. I need channel members. All right. I need people joined and like as memberships of the channel, because it does help the channel. It boosts visibility of the overall membership, and then it also just helps in terms of work with sponsors and stuff like that. So I need as many people as possible to join the channel. And so, yeah, I know I've had different people ask about different things and variations, but I think when it comes to channel memberships, I feel very comfortable in saying that this channel provides, I think, in the top tier, if not the top value for the money that you're paying, between the different stuff. And for those who set in on the first members only live stream this week or last week, I think they were absolutely just over the moon ecstatic with the value they got out of that live stream in terms of going through all the hot lists and being able to be there for those live streams. So
are they allowed to watch it after?
The what? Yeah. It's channel members. Yeah, if somebody joins tonight, they can go back and watch it, and they can get all the top hits, top hints that I gave about both of the top 10 lists and some of the discussion, because there was real good discussion too. I remember Gerald Yates and I were talking, and just different people. So it was a good thing. My card doesn't work on YouTube, and I love that Predator book. Oh, man, Tate, man, I'm sorry. Weapon X is chiming. Producer Weapon X is saying channel members get some great benefits. There are great benefits. Tom, let's see. Wait, hang on. There's even the option to win a workout session with JT Comics.
Y'all don't want that.
That's the Colossus tier that we haven't announced yet.
The Colossus
tier. And folks,
how to get muscles like Juggernaut.
Folks, just let me know. You can choose a gym partner, either JT or Paul, and they will, work out in front of you, for you, whatever. Let's see. She says, Tate, do you have Cash App or Venmo? Those will work. Dagger Card says, I watched the replay. Very good show. El Green says, great benefits. I love my Green Lantern slab. No, you're good. You're good, because I think here's the thing. This season, you'll see me talking a lot more about channel memberships and the value, and kind of just giving the value proposition out, just very straightforward. That, hey, I think it is a stellar value, and it's worth trying to figure out a workaround and stuff. So here we go. All right, Gerald Yates says only if Paul wears something tight.
All right. Oh, man.
He'll pull out his Punisher outfit that's skin tight.
Man.
It's a black leotard.
Yeah.
And he'll wear it for you. All right. Anyway, okay. So let's go ahead and do the giveaway. Congratulations to everybody, or to everybody that's been winning. And for those
good luck, Carlo.
For those considering channel membership, definitely consider it. Message me if you have questions, and if you I'd love to answer your questions about it, take suggestions on it. I'm always open to hearing what people think and feedback, but we've definitely seen more people joining. So here we go. Hashtag ASM36. Good luck to everybody in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's see who is going to be the winner for this one. Not me.
Good luck, Carlos.
Why did I just do it twice? Australian AC.
What?
Australian AC.
Congrats.
All right, Australian AC. Let me know in the chat which of these books that you would like. Which one would you like? It's going to be the you get either the ASM 252 or the 1 in 10 Space Ghost #2, which I love this cover, and it's a pain to let it go, but I wanted to give y'all some good stuff and some cool stuff. So Australian AC, let me know which of these two you wanted.
Thank you.
Or hey, here's the thing: to get the upgrade giveaway, any tier can do it. So it whichever tier you're at, whether it's Claude Knucklehead or the Man of Steel, whatever price tier it is, you get to choose. So, all right. So Australian AC says the Space Ghost, please. So congratulations, AC, brother from down under. Good to see you win this one. And Space Ghost. All of them have great cut. Hey, seriously, if you were ever even a slight fan of Space Ghost, you need to be picking up this miniseries because it ties straight into the original material, and the covers for this series are just stellar. So I've been blown away. Like every time David shares them on Instagram, I'm like, golly, there's ones I didn't even know about, and it's like the ones like this. I'm like, okay, this is a pretty good, this is an amazing cover. And then I see other ones that I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing, All right. So, Space Ghost has it does. Even the regular cover A's are fantastic stuff. All right. So congratulations to our winners tonight. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We are going to do real quick before we wrap up for the night. I'm going to go ahead and take it over to the YouTube channel. I know it's a little bit of a different night because we covered a heavier subject with 9/11, but I felt like it was worth it to do this and to kind of go through this and take a look at stuff. Oh, Paul, look at that! He's got 2 of them.
They'll be $5 tomorrow.
I know, right? Yeah, so he got them for $30. They'll be for sale at a comic auction near you for $87 plus $2 shipping.
These ain't available.
So, all right. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at the survey says. We haven't done this in quite some time. All right, folks, here it is. Survey says.
You didn't see that, Nightwing.
Sorry, I didn't see that. I need it though. All right.
What's the question?
This was yesterday's poll. Okay, hey, there are all kinds of fun surveys and
I just
polls.
want to say what's going on with you guys
under the community tab here on the YouTube channel. All right, so I asked, we've covered some of the best casting in the MCU. Which of the following was the worst casting we've seen in the MCU? Not surprisingly to me, Finn Jones as Iron Fist had 53% of the vote. Almost 40 people voted in that one. Guy Pearce as the Mandarin was at 21%. Tatiana Maslany as She-Hulk was 16%. Brie Larson as Captain Marvel was at 11%. So I guess she was the most popular. Poor Finn Jones, though. More than half of you thought that he was not a very good Iron Fist. All right. Aliens versus Avengers launched this week and has taken the comic market by storm. Which Avenger would you most want by your side if you were trapped on a derelict spacecraft with a dozen xenomorphs? The Hulk handily won that with 45% of the vote, followed by 32% for Thor. Of the almost 50 people that voted, Iron Man was at 19%. Captain America only got 4%.
I just want to say, what's wrong with you guys, man? You know the shield can go against aliens, so.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
No.
If you had to take down a predator, which of the following comic book heroes would you want on your side? Over 50 of you voted. 41% said the Punisher, inexplicably. I have no idea why. He's the only non-powered person on here. He just has a machine
Green
gun.
Lantern.
But he's the Punisher. The Green Lantern, like one of the kings of space, only got 25%. Lobo only got 22%, and Colossus only got 12%. Like, I get it for Colossus, but I have no idea why the Punisher. How?
I would go with Green Lantern.
I don't understand that. Yeah, I would absolutely take Green Lantern. You'd never even have to get close to the Predator.
Right.
All right. Which comic book ninja wins in a no-holds-barred free-for-all through New York City at night? Over 50 of you voted. 45%, surprisingly, said Daredevil.
Wow.
Followed by 31% for Snake Eyes, 20% for Raphael. I thought Raphael was going to win. When I put the thing together,
I thought Snake Eyes would win because
Snake Eyes.
I know I voted for Snake Eyes, but I thought people were going to vote for Raphael, but instead everybody went for Daredevil.
I don't know why.
Ninjak, apologies to Southern Comic Geek, but Ninjak only got 4%. So
I can't believe you got 4%.
All right. Which recent MCU villain was your favorite? 50 of you voted. Over 60 or 64% of you said Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin was your favorite. 18% said the High Evolutionary from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. 12% said Cassandra Nova. And only 6% voted for Namor. Played by Tenoch Huerta.
I have to agree with the chat on that one. Green Goblin was a great one.
Of course. All right. Which of the following characters would you want to see in a solo mission to a cosmic destination in far-flung space where they become stranded and must use their wits to battle a brutal dictator seeking to seize total power of their remote planet? 41% of you said Silver Surfer. I would read. To be honest, I would buy any of these comics with that storyline. I would. Seriously. 41% said Silver Surfer. 30% said Beta Ray Bill. 24% said the Richard Rider Nova. And only 5% for Quasar. Womp womp. All right. Which street... This was my favorite of all the polls, and we're going to end with this one. Which street-level character would you want to see embroiled in a deadly game of cat and mouse with a terrifying supernatural serial killer in a 6-issue miniseries written by James Tynion IV, the writer of Something is Killing the Children, with art by Fernando Blanco, the artist behind World Tree, who also combined with James Tynion IV for that one. 35% of you. This one was tight. This one was actually a pretty tight race. Of the over 50 people that voted, 35% said the Punisher, 27% said Daredevil, 21% said Nightwing, and 17% said the Huntress.
Wow.
So I mean,
Punisher beat out Nightwing. Oh, wow.
It's a lot of Punisher fans.
Right.
Nobody cares about Nightwing. I told you.
This one, Paul was very excited about this. We just found out that Jim Lee is coming to a town for a local convention. Which of the following iconic characters would you want Jim Lee to sketch? 43% said Batman, 31% said Wolverine. I thought Wolverine was going to win. 24% said Spider-Man, and only 2% of you said Superman.
Wow.
42 votes, and only 2% said Superman. I think that's like one vote. Okay. Oh, yeah, this one was fun. All right, because I almost put Paul on this one. If you could have one of the following MCU characters take you out for a wild, all-expenses-paid weekend in Las Vegas, which one would you choose? Tony Stark won with 56% of the vote. Lewis from the Ant-Man films, who was my personal pick, tied with Deadpool for 20%, and Thor only got 4% of the vote. I mean, I would have thought Thor would be pretty fun in Vegas. You know, you take them to all the casinos.
Man, everybody wants some. None of these guys have money like Tony Stark, so everybody's smart on that one, guys. I see what y'all are doing. Carlos wants to go broke and fly around with a hammer, and everybody's going to be there gambling with Tony Stark. Everybody's like, "Where's Carlos at?" Oh, he's flying with Thor around in the hammer.
All right. Okay. So I think that's all of them. Yeah. Well, that's the only. That's as far back as we'll go. That catches us up. All right. So that was fun. Hey. So thanks so much to everybody for tuning in. Liz Barnes says, "Show him my new Nightwing." Too late, Carlos. It's mine. Louis V, what's up, man? Good to see you hanging out with us again. Carlos needs to give those posts a thumbs up. I need to go check it. I need that book, to be honest with you.
Look, it's got all the covers, but look, it's the homage of one cover.
I know. No, I want that one.
They came out with covers in the background.
Dagger Card says, "Punisher, let's go." We don't talk like that around here, Paul.
Oh, because Nightwing lost.
Oh. All right. Hey, I'm a huge Nightwing fan too. Hey, thanks so much to everybody for tuning in tonight. Big shout out to Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys. Hey, I have that comic.
You know who did the cover?
Yeah, I have a stack of them, and they're all signed.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You don't have it.
Yep. All right. So, Finger Red #1. All right. Hey, thanks for being here tonight. Shout out to Lone Star Heroes Comics and Toys, our channel sponsor. We're excited about all the cool stuff that we're doing with them. And they've got some cool announcements coming on the horizon. So we're looking forward to sharing that with y'all. But very, very excited about them. Let me go ahead and send it to each of the guys to give final thoughts and shout outs. And then we're going to go ahead and wrap it up because producer Weapon X is blowing up my phone right now because we're over. All right, JT, say something.
Yeah. Thank y'all for coming out. Good show. Thank you, Carlos, for having me. Thank you, Paul, for not being as annoying as usual.
Hey, man, why don't you tell people how to join the Comic Fiend Club?
Comic Book Fiend Club.
Where you can't get in. Look at that. The club you can't get in.
The club that is for people who like other people. You can't be antisocial. It's a social club.
I want to see Paul in one of those vests.
Yeah.
JT, do you think could you pull some strings to try to get Paul in to the Comic Book Fiend Club?
Paul, maybe somebody else.
I know. His reputation precedes him, but
what?
I
got along with all of them in Dallas.
All right, Paul. Final thoughts and shout outs.
Yeah. So Carlos knows. So y'all know that I got this one. This is my book right here that I've gotten, but Carlos was sleeping, so your boy got.
Let me get one, Paul.
Look at that. I got another one.
He is just.
But no, thank you for everybody coming out tonight and hitting the thumbs up and sharing it. And thank you for David Sanchez, even though.
Yeah, David. Thanks.
I think he has to recover now. It may take a couple of days to recover from these two. But anyway, so thank you for showing up, David, and bringing your presence on here, sir. Great artist. 2 thumbs up for me. And thank you, JT. Thank you, Carlos, for messing everything up for me. But
right, exactly. Like, one time he actually says the words "thank you," he follows it with a ball-faced lie.
But no. So 9/11, guys, it was a great show. But sorry that we were going in deep into it. But yeah, it's a real topic for me. But yeah, great show. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. Thank you, Carlos.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, thanks again for joining us, and y'all make sure to have a good rest of the night. Thank y'all for all those that did it. If you haven't subscribed, make sure and subscribe, and if you are heading out, make sure and hit that like button on your way out the door. We will see you. We'll be doing a live stream this weekend at some point to share an unboxing that's been sitting here literally in its box since August.
Damn.
Of what? No, like October of last year. It's been sitting here waiting for me to do an unboxing.
Year.
So I'm going to be doing that. I'll do that as a short live stream, and it'll go on the plate. Make sure and check out the homepage because I've done a lot of rearranging and stuff. And also, like I said, please do consider channel membership because it is well worth it. And Producer Weapon X has given up on mad texting me because we won't stop the live stream. So now he's just dropping random stuff in the chat. The Colossus tier will include a 15-pound tub of protein in your quarterly membership box.
The same protein JT uses, guys.
Results may vary, folks.
We don't know.
All right. Y'all take care, and we will see y'all next time.